Good morning, everybody. Orange J here with another Etheria restart video, and big news dropping from the dev team tonight. We've got our patch notes for our patch that's in 2 days, including a preview of the brand new character coming out, including this video that they just posted on Twitter like a couple seconds ago, actually a couple minutes ago, but I have not seen this yet. So I got it muted. So let's give this thing a play. Here we go. All right. So new character. Here's our preview. Love the character. Love the color palette, the blues and purples. Okay. Let's see. Come on. Now, I've read through what this character is supposed to be a little bit. Did not know she was an archer. Archer type character. Okay. That's neat. I don't think we have an archer in the game yet. She is a light dark character. So you see that like light dark summon thing she was pulling out right there? That's definitely a tip of the hat to that. But I imagine they'll just announce that anyway. Still, okay. Let's see what we got here. Again, love the character, the purples and blues. You just love it. I don't love this like tentacle, this berserk feeling, awful looking mini arms character. If you've seen Berserk or read the manga, you know what I mean. Okay, there you go. So that's cool right here. Let's watch that again. Hold up. Let's back that up. So check that out. In the preview that we'll read here in a minute, it says she can like dispel her own debuffs. There's a little tip of the hat to that. So there's her dispelling a debuff, and then probably using what is something like her ultimate move with that like summoned archer attack. And yeah, that looks like that's it. So light element character coming out on the 26th. So we're going to go through these patch notes a little bit. There's your new character. I'm going to just breeze through these. I'm going to touch on the things that I thought were really important. There's a lot of bug fixes in here. I'm not going to try to like bore you guys reading through all those. If you want to read through all the bug fixes, just go to their Twitter and read through it yourself. But anyway, really late at night on the 25th, there's going to be a patch. We're going to get 200 Hydra crystals for that patch. And then the servers are going to open back up on the 26th, at least for the global game. It'll be 26th at like 12 a.m. and we will have access to this featured Animus debut, YELI, the light element character. So here's some pictures of her. Again, I love the design, man. Acheron was like my favorite character from Honkai Star Rail. She's giving me those Acheron vibes. I'm digging it. Okay, so limited time Animus up, Butterfly Waltz, and here it says that it's launching on the 26th. It's going to the 9th, so they're sticking with that like 2-week character cycle. I know some people feel like that's a little bit too fast. Me coming from War of the Visions, early on in War of the Visions, we were getting new characters like every week. So this feels like slow compared to that, but it feels more in line with what War of the Visions kind of ended up being, with like 1 or 2 new characters a month. And that was fine, especially if you don't have to pull for all of them. Like I feel like if you skipped Holden or you skipped Hoyan, you're fine. Right now, she might be better because she's a light element character, and we'll kind of see what she can do here in a minute. So during the event, you're guaranteed to get her on her banner after 80 pulls. We all knew that. She will also go into the standard pool. Many people read this part of the patch notes right here and thought, oh, we're getting 2 new characters, an extra affinity summon, which is a light dark, and a permanent summon. I don't think that's true. I think what this is trying to say is that she's going into both pools, because the light dark characters are in our standard pool as well. Okay, let's read about her kit a little bit right here. Where does it talk about her kit? Man, I swear it does. Here we go. So YELI is an output focused character centered around pursuit attacks. So follow-up attack character, delivering lethal strikes to enemies with continuous follow-up after critical hits. So like Rosa, for example, will follow-up attack after critical hits. Looks like she's kind of doing that thing as well. She also possesses self-dispel, which we saw in the video, critical hit buff, which is nice, and then a new mechanic, AoE defense reduction. I don't think we have a character in the game right now that just straight up provides AoE damage reduction. Now we have like shielding characters like Silence that in effect reduces AoE damage, or defense buffing characters like Kachi the Guard or any of them that also reduce damage, but this looks like a specific AoE defense reduction buff or passive or something that she's bringing. If so, that will make her valuable in like pushing the meta in PvP forward. And think about all the bosses that AoE, man. There's so much content in this game that drops AoE. I'm very, very curious to see her kit and see how that actually works out. Okay. Now let's move ahead. New gameplay. We're going to get Cage Rumble. This, I hope, is better than the train event. Like the train event that's running right now just ran. I felt it was like too hard. Like you were supposed to kill a bunch of trash mobs, and those trash mobs just like beat my butt. I was like, look, I know I don't have YELI, but my account is pretty loaded. And this event probably shouldn't be kicking my ass this hard. This is sort of like that, but with boss fights. Now, I know that my account is more geared towards beating bosses, so maybe I'll have more luck here. It does say it will have like a point system, and there'll be generous rewards. I hope the rewards are generous, and I hope it's just not as brutal as the super train awful event. I just didn't like the train event. Like, I don't know. I feel like I'm not alone in not liking the train event, but Cage Rumble is coming out, and it is a solo challenge, so a PvE bit of content right there. Now, Anti-Sync Echoes getting new stages. 37 through 42 are being added there, and then new story mode. Animus Doki is being added. Excellent. Okay, then it goes through some gameplay bug fixes right here. I breezed through this, and it didn't look to me like any of these bug fixes were those like bug fixes that ended up like nerfing a bunch of other stuff, but there were some very important ones in here if you're curious in reading through them. It's a lot of like descriptions being updated. Like it used to say that Nico, Nana, and Ethernet Rally was immune to dot, but now it says they'll be affected by dot. Great. Okay, so read through those if you wanted to. There's a lot of them. I'm more interested in like the fixes to characters and shells, like essentially the bug fixes that sometimes buff and sometimes debuff a character, as we've seen in this game. So fix an issue where Animus Hellkid's skill Crystal Strike did not increase Shroud Barrier shield amount. So that's a bug fix, but it's also a buff to Hellkid because like his Shroud Barrier is kind of his whole thing. And so if his Crystal Strike was not increasing the shield amount there, that hurt him. That's a nice little bug fix for him that essentially buffs him a little bit, by fixing him. Okay, fix a potential desynchronization issue for buff notification of Lilith's skill Graceful Finale in Tea Time. Okay, whatever. Fix an abnormal target issue when Animus Viper's passive and counter effect triggered each other. Okay, I never encountered that, but that's interesting. Fixed the prowess system for some skills of Messiah, Lilith, Heinrich, Klaus, and Kachi the Guard, ensuring the correct stat increase is applied. This is a big one. So that means people were like leveling up skills on these units and then not getting the stat that it said. This is a big fix. I don't know if it's a nerf or a buff or a nothing burger, but it is a big fix. Okay, fix a display issue with attribute updates when removing modules and equipment presets. Okay, fix a number misalignment issue on the shell upgrade interface. Fix the display order of attack and defense on the shell upgrade panel. Interesting. Fix an issue where shell Alicorn could not correctly dispel the silence effect. This is a buff to Alicorn. Now, I think this didn't happen all the time because I swear I've seen my Alicorn dispel silence before, but apparently it doesn't always do that, and now it will. That's a nice little buff to Alicorn. Fix inconsistency between the buff tips and skill descriptions for Golden Lion and Revelation. Keep your eyes on this one. I am very curious for... I do not change Revelation. Like Golden Lion is kind of whatever. Like if you want to do a little adjusting to that one, I don't know that anybody would complain, but Revelation is a core shell for so many characters in this game, and it's like not overpowering them. It's just not. Like it makes some characters as good as some of the other good characters. I really hope what they're not doing here is changing the description of Revelation and also making it like worse. I don't know. I got my eyes on that Revelation one. That's all I'm going to say there. Okay, fix an issue where Shell Amber would fail to trigger upon death while under a control effect. Huge buff to Amber, because I mean, that's the whole point of that freaking shell. Okay, fix a special case where Shell Amber could not prevent a character from dying. Again, really big deal, because that's what that shell does. Okay, corrected the faction for the Animus Mio. Apparently she was affiliated with the wrong faction before. All right. Anyway, there are some other fixes in here. Most of them are not a big deal. It's like kind of annoying stuff, but there was a couple that I thought were, decent to see. Like fix an issue where buff icons could occasionally disappear during battle. I've seen that a lot, and that's kind of confusing. And like that is a big deal, because especially if it's like on your opponent and you're like, ooh, do I need to like drop this dispel right now? And you don't know, but you feel like it probably buffed themselves, but maybe it missed. Yeah, that's a nice thing to have right there. Fix an issue with abnormal behavior when selecting playing with a game controller. I had no idea people played this game with a controller. That's crazy. Yeah, so there's just some of those type of issues being fixed there. Now, optimizations and adjustments. This was a big one in my opinion. United Front, we've done one, and like there was definitely feedback being given to the devs on United Front. They've made some changes. Now, none of them are like huge changes, but they all feel like, okay, we're going to adjust this, we're going to keep making it more fun, and there are some important ones in here. So simplified the world map information, improved the overall visual presentation. Much needed, much needed. Like it's a cool looking map, it needs to just be streamlined more somehow, so I'm curious to see how they do that. Added battlefield interface information, battle reports, and additional victory details. Awesome. The more information we can get, the better, especially if you're trying to be competitive and improve your guild. Added new war flags and emblem designs for certain ranks. Add a billion of these. Like, these are just things that make people feel cool, and they cost no money, and they're probably really easy to put in the game. They should just add a shitload. Just pump them in there for people who can hit certain ranks. Okay, fix an issue where vice presidents could not remove members during the formation phase. Oh, this one sucked in the last one because I had like my vice presidents trying to like rearrange our defense a little bit, and people would put themselves in the wrong spot. They had to ping me in Discord every time to come in and do it myself. Thank God that's fixed. Okay, optimize the contribution ratio of co-op points from core strongholds and others. Okay, just a fix there. Improved the gameplay rules description. I'll be curious to see what they added. And then enhanced gameplay stability. Always good. Now, here's more good ones. Increased daily quest rewards. Awesome. Better dailies. All gachas do this, by the way. All gachas at some point are like, you know, our daily rewards like weren't that good, so we're going to make them better. Seeing this happen on week 3 of the game, yeah, I'll take that all day. All right, better dailies. Excellent. Increased Etheria ranking rewards, expanding from top 100 to top 200. So more rewards in Etheria. Increased Summit Arena ranking rewards in the same way. So more rewards. This is good. This is good. Adjusted how monthly supply card daily rewards are distributed. Don't know what this means. Maybe it's better distribution. I have no idea what that means. Adjusted the completion requirement for some tasks in the Hyperlink Charter. Okay. Adjusted the requirement to complete the runner-up mission in Fearless Arena to 2 times. Whatever. Reduced the ultimate skill damage of Shadow Guard Disorder in Phantom Theater. So they nerfed a Phantom Theater boss. Okay. Optimized blue dot notification display rules in Union. Thank you. That blue dot was freaking always up. Thank you for getting rid of that. Improved visual performance of Hell Kids Live 2D. Optimized skill display effect for Born. Okay. Optimize the handling of leftover tokens in Shell Story. They will now be converted to Etheria coins and delivered via in-game mail. All right. Optimize the handling of leftover tokens in Dazzler Pulse. They'll be Etheria coins too. Okay. Gotta take a drink. Too much reading. Delicious. Let's continue. Okay. Optimize the information layout of shell tip pop-ups. Wonderful. Optimize the battle start message in battle. What? Does this mean we don't have to click start anymore? That'd be kind of cool. Added UI animation effects to the Champion's Call interface. Added a protection mechanism against rapid consecutive clicks in redeem. Oh my God. You could do this. Were people getting like 200 pulls by like macroing click redeem code? That's crazy. Added unlocked prompt feature for level-based items. Okay. Optimized partial illustration material effects. Don't know what that means. Improved in-game illustration rendering. Improved the stability of Union Anchor Recon gameplay. More stability improvements. More stability improvements. Improved battle settlement speed and gameplay stability in Fearless Arena. This was needed. I hope what this is doing is some kind of way of punishing people who just take the entire timer to piss you off. If you do that, you suck. Like, play the damn game. Like, we all don't have a million. Like, if you have nothing to do with your life except for troll people in RTA and Fearless Arena, you are just like, go touch grass or something. Oh my God. Reduce the difficulty of Breakpoint Tiamat in Ethernet Core. Reduce the difficulty of Breakpoint Nico Nana in Ethernet Core. Optimize the operation method for adding upgrade materials. Oh, this is huge. This is a big one. Because right now, you got 2 options with adding materials to level up your characters. Add all, which just shoves everything in there, and then you can like subtract 1 at a time from each one. If they put a slider in, Big W. Improved overall game stability and loading efficiency, blah, blah, blah. Awesome. Okay, so that's it, guys. That's the update. That's the patch notes. We will go over the kit for YELI as soon as we see it, and then we'll talk about if she's like a must pull or not. I don't know, but that's the patch notes. Have fun out there, everybody. I'll see you next time. Peace.